Hi, and welcome to Teletalk. I'm Liv.
And I'm Ben.
And on this episode, you'll hear our carefully considered and not at all random thoughts on a show we like. There will be spoilers.
We're giving ourselves an age rating of 15 and above, but you're welcome to make up your own mind. Listener discretion is advised.
Suddenly Amish, episode 2.
Slightly less suddenly.
Yeah.
Becoming less sudden with every episode.
They're still feeling the shock, though.
Oh, yeah. All of them. Even the Amish.
Yes. I feel like especially the Amish.
I enjoyed this. I really enjoyed it.
Spoiler.
Is it a spoiler?
You say it to me when I say stuff like that.
Right,
I'll get you back.
Right. But I don't know what I came into this show expecting from an engagement perspective, but I'm in.
This episode whizzed by.
It really
Like,
did.
it got to the end and I thought, what? Like,
Yeah.
where's the rest of it? It did just flow, and I think that's because I was enjoying it as well.
Yeah, I thought there'd been about 10, 15 minutes
Yeah.
gone by, and poof, gone.
I know.
Done.
Full 40 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, ooh. But they fit a lot in, and there's a lot to sort of get onto, and it was really hard because we've made an agreement not to talk about it while we're watching the show.
Yes, which we didn't fully stick to because there
No.
are bits and bobs that come up that we can't help ourselves with.
You say we, it's usually me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the one that can't be like. But yeah, it's I'm really looking forward to talking about it with you now.
Because a lot happened this episode.
So much happens.
Yeah.
So where do we even start? Because they're divided into their two households.
Yes.
So maybe we cover one household and then the other and sort of any associated bits.
Yeah, well, that works quite well, doesn't it? Because they get together at the end as well, so that's quite good for summarising.
Yeah, well, I suggest we start with Emma and James's house.
Okay.
So that's our trio of Judah, Esme and Aaron.
Yeah, and Emma is James's cousin. I think it's third cousin once removed that they said
Something
in the last
like that.
episode. So James is the Amish fellow who is shunned by his own community, and he's come over to this more relaxed community to try and redeem himself and become unshunned.
Yes, and that becomes kind of a theme to the episode, I think. Do we want to talk about that now?
Well, I guess so, because it's kind of integral to
Yeah.
this group of muggles.
Yes, because he seems to have a real stick up his arse about, like, look at me, I am the strictest Mormon. Mormon? Uh-oh.
Crossover.
I am the strictest Amish man. Please unshun me, for I am upholding our standards.
The thing is, though, he is now trying to teach the muggles the Amish way of life.
Yeah.
But he's in a more liberal community. So probably, this is my thinking, that his fellow Amish from the liberal community are being more lenient with the muggles, and he was shunned probably for doing a lot less.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So that's a facet that's come in that we didn't see last episode.
Not too much,
That
anyway.
I imagine will be a theme running forward, which is that conflict of the two standards or different standards within the Amish community. Like, who's more Amish than the other and who judges who. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Because there's a lot of cross commentary, well, mostly from James, about Alan,
The other
other
Amish
Amish man.
fellow.
and there's a few points where James is saying, like, I don't want these English, or Muggles, sorry, to mess this up, because this is how I get unshunned, and if they mess up, I won't get unshunned.
Yeah, there must be a better word for that
What?
than unshunned. Like, is there a word for that? Redeemed?
I don't know.
Back in the community?
Yeah.
I don't know. Unshunned
Redeemed?
just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, he's very much, it feels like, almost performatively going, I am super Mormon. I keep saying Mormon. What is wrong with me today? I am super Amish.
Yeah.
And it's like he's expecting his...
It's like it's real Amish, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware until this show / this episode even, that there were different degrees of Amish, different churches within the Amish community. I'd heard of Mennonites,
Right.
which are like the Amish community, but they have more technology integrated. But I kind of assumed that all Amish communities sort of lived by the same rules as each other, but that seems to not be the case.
I saw some commentary online that some people were speculating that the liberal community of Amish people, so Alan's community and Bishop Vernon's community, are actually Mennonites who are sort of saying they're Amish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was only online speculation, so take that with a grain of salt. But they're like the Mennonites are sort of known to be sort of Amish purporting, but much, much, much more liberal. So we'll have some technologies and things.
Like a fridge, which we do see in one of the houses.
Although, fascinatingly, that's in James's house.
Yeah, but Emma is in this community, so it might be her house.
This is the thing, it's so confusing, because we also have to bear in mind that there might also be a certain amount of them saying, hey, James, can you play up the stick up the arse Amishness? Because
they do seem to be quite well informed on how to act for the cameras.
Yes.
You know, they've had some media training, I think.
It's really interesting, because if you take it on face value that Bishop Vernon and Alan have sort of brought James in, thinking, oh, he's been shunned, this will be a good way for him to be unshunned, or whatever the fancy word is, and he'll be liberal like us. They are dead wrong, because he is very much playing the I hate everything about these English people.
Well, I suppose the other option is that they did want someone stricter to create some conflict and to create interest for us, the audience. And because he's currently shunned, he would have been the only person willing.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to assume that the Amish community are generally fairly closed off to outsiders.
Are you suggesting the community that does not like technology would not be keen on being on telly?
Well, I mean, in many circumstances they have been. We talked last week about the, what's his name, Louis Theroux.
Yeah. And
Breaking Amish. So there have been cases of TV shows going into their community.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There have. So it is interesting that obviously some of them will let you in. It feels like from what we've seen, James's community was probably quite a hard line community. So that will play out as we talk about the rest of the episode, won't it? And we'll sort of touch on that, I guess, when it becomes applicable to our muggles.
Yes. So James and Emma's house, they were the ones in last episode that wouldn't even let the suitcases in the door before they went through them.
Yeah, we've kind of got a hardline house and a more chill house, and this is the hardline house.
Yes, so as you said, we've got Judah, Esme and Aaron in this house.
Unlucky guys.
Yeah, so we learn a bit about Judah and Aaron, but not too much about Esme this episode. She was there in the background doing bits and bobs, but we didn't really hear from her.
Yeah,
I don't feel like I know any more about her.
It was quite interesting because we see sort of a bit about each of the households, and in the other household, all three of them go and do some gardening all together, the men and the women together.
Yeah.
Whereas in this household, we only really see anything of significance from the boys, and they're going and doing the farm work. Yeah. Esme, we don't really see Emma much at all in that context. And
Esme.
Yeah, we see Esme sort of flittering around the kitchen, which is when we saw when you spotted the fridge. Yeah. The nice big Smeg fridge there. But
yeah, and we can tell it's her because she's wearing normal clothes. I mean, modest, but trousers.
Yes.
Whereas Emma would be in the full-on Amish outfit.
That's true. I could also tell it was her because it was her face.
Oh, well, I don't remember what she looks like.
Also, I assume that you probably don't have Emma bopping around going, ew, flies, and then swatting them and then trying to sort of like...
Oh, yeah.
Them out the window.
But that was really all we saw from her. She chats a bit later to the two lads, Judah and Aaron. But we don't really learn about her. They're talking about what's just happened.
The only thing of significance with her really is that they, right at the beginning, they wrap up that thing of like, because we were left on a cliffhanger of like she was leaving because she wouldn't take off her nails
And her eyelashes.
And we see the continuation of that conversation where they kind of go, wow, we could maybe make an exception for a week.
Well, more interesting with context, because James, a very strict one whose house it is, had got over Alan to help. And Alan's like, well, sides with Emma, saying maybe we see how it goes. This is a big adjustment. We'll take it bit by bit. Let's give it 7 days and we'll look at it again then.
Yes, because you constantly heard James in the sort of background going, yeah, well, you have to get out then, won't you? And stuff. He was like really like quite negative.
He's straight down the line, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
These are the rules, black and white. You do it or you don't.
Yeah, because Emma says, like, we'll replace her nails with clear ones just to protect her nails while they grow back in.
Yeah.
And we'll reconvene in a week. They negotiate, don't they? Which I thought was pretty... Which is what we were sort of going, well, maybe that's what they could do. So...
I don't know. I was thinking she just needs to take them off.
You are the James in this, and I was being all Alan.
Like, I don't know. Surely the rules are the rules. Like, you know what they are going in. Unless they didn't get a list of the rules.
I'm beginning to think that either production have deliberately kept them in the dark, but surely they all said they did their Googling, so like cursory
Googling, but that means they weren't given any information.
Well, there is that. So yeah, also there's the possibility that they were told like you can't make any changes to yourself, so you've got fake nails on and eyelashes, you need to come with those.
I don't know, because she clearly knew about the makeup. I just don't think she counts eyelashes and nails as makeup.
Well, maybe.
But I also, a bit later on, noticed something regarding Matt.
Okay.
And he said, because they said, why didn't you tell anyone? And he said, there wasn't anyone to tell.
Yeah.
So I do think there might be a bit of a void between the two worlds.
Yeah, there's definitely been some withholding. That information hasn't translated through production.
But maybe that's what's making this interesting.
Well,
Had they been fully prepped, we wouldn't have so many of these teething issues or controversies. I don't know what you want to call them.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Like, there's been a lot of stuff positioned to create this friction, like the two different levels of Amishness, the different types of people that have been brought in. It's all designed for that, but it makes for really interesting dichotomies.
Well,
right?
And it also shows the difference between what you can learn by Googling a community and what you actually learn by being there immersed in it. That's
really true, because I imagine like if you Googled what's it like to live in England, you might get quite a different impression than our actual lives.
I'm sure you would.
So yeah. But because we don't see that much of Esme, we see most of Judah and Aaron from this household.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. There's so much to get into.
Well, they start off by going to sort out the animals. It's 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Actually, I think he first calls them at 3:30, and then it gets to 3:45, and then it's 4, and then at some point in one of the houses it's 4:30, and they're like, "You really have to get up.
Yeah,
we have to go deal with the animals. The day has started."
I would not fancy having James waking me at 4 a.m. and trying to be like, "No, mate, I want to sleep." I feel like at some point he was going to throw some manure on them. Or something, pretty hard on that sort of thing. But what we do get to see is Judah on a farmyard.
Yes, which wouldn't be overly impressive, apart from the fact that he has some phobias. Namely, he's scared of birds.
I certainly wouldn't say it was impressive.
Well,
at one point he's being chased by the world's tiniest chicken.
I thought that was hilarious.
So did Aaron.
Because the camera pans and we get to see these chickens and
Monster
you think,
chicken!
They're so cute. They're really small. And he's like, "Oh my god, I'm scared of chickens." And then he's running away. It's very funny.
He's running away like it's a meme from The Office, and Michael Scott is tearing out of that building when there's a fire alarm. But yeah, he is terrified, and he's like, "I've got a bird phobia because an ostrich snapped at me when I was a kid."
Yeah, and to be fair, if you've got a phobia, yeah, fair play. Then again, exposure therapy, he will be healed from this.
Why is that chicken not in a coop?
I know, yeah. He does though. He is brave. He touches a little baby chick.
He's like, James is like, "Hold the chick." He's like, I will touch it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's soft.
I didn't want him to hold it because I could just see him dropping it.
Yeah. Or it pooping on him.
The dropping thing is what I was concerned about.
James, not really here for the phobia. He's like, well, I guess he's got a phobia, but I don't see how a man can be afraid of birds.
Especially tiny chickens.
I mean, he also wasn't keen on the smell or the noise. He asked all of them to quieten down.
He looked a bit scared of the horse too when he was feeding it grain.
I enjoyed when he was feeding the cows and he was like, here you go, sir or madam. I don't know which you identify as, but here's your hay.
I liked that because I think these animals like having a bit of conversation.
Not the route I thought you were going down, but sure.
Oh. Well, I mean, you're treating them more like
People.
beings. Yeah.
Anthropomorphizing them.
Well, no, I didn't want to go that far, but I mean, we have a very strong connection to animals if you put the effort in, right? And that is what he was trying to do, I think.
It also goes to show he's okay with animals if they're like in a pen.
Behind a wire net thing.
Not keen, like you said, on feeding the horses, though. Very tentative. So that might be a struggle going forward because he was not keen on the smell.
The thing is with the horses, all he had to do was pour the grain into their feeder thing through a gap in the fence. He seemed to be struggling just putting the grain holder close enough to the gap.
How much slower do you think the farmyard tasks were for James that day?
I reckon it took him an extra hour, despite having 2 people to help.
Only an hour?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Aaron, though, all over it.
Well, he's grown up on a farm, hasn't he? Down the road from an Amish community.
Yeah. Well, even later on, Aaron's like, you're basically Amish like the rest of them. You can do everything. You can do anything. You can
Well, that's what Judah accuses him of.
Yes.
That's not the Amish saying that.
No. But to be fair, he was doing pretty well. He was shoveling all sorts of excrement. He was doing hay. He was chopping things. He was getting stuck in.
Yeah. Very capable, physically capable.
And also, he's going to look really well involved when you compare to Judah in the background being chased by a chicken, going, ah!
The other thing we hear from Judah about is his sexuality, because he's talking for the first part of the episode about having something big about him. He doesn't know if he's going to be accepted and so on. And about halfway through, he reveals that he's bisexual.
Yeah, I was convinced he was going to say gay.
Yeah.
And then he was like, bisexual. I'm like, different. But yeah, that will be tricky. Because I can understand why he might not be so sure about how that's going to be received.
Yes, especially given what happens later to Matt.
Years. Shall we touch on that when we get to Matt?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, it was a question.
That I thought had an obvious answer.
Well, which you made very clear.
But Judah does trust his muggle friends with this information. They're playing a bit of a game, a bit of a sing-song later on when they're all together, and he kind of drops it in. And I think some of them react like, did he just say that?
Well, because he was like, do-do-do, I'm Jonah, I'm bi, do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah.
And it was like, eh? What?
Is that what he just said? How's that going to go down? But they don't particularly react beyond, is that what I heard? And how's that going to go down?
Yeah. And he does a very will he, won't he, back and forth as to whether he's going to tell anyone.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I think quite rightly, decides not to.
Not today.
No, not right now.
Yeah. Oh, but he does have a nice moment when they're chopping wood and he's failing miserably, but he's giving it a go.
Yes.
He turns round to James and Alan and Aaron.
Ooh, tricky.
Ooh, that's a difficult one. And says, look, I didn't have a father figure growing up. I ended up identifying more with my female family. I don't know how to do a lot of manly things.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I fit in with the guys and I'm really struggling. And Alan, oh my gosh, he says, if you want, I can be a father figure for you. And then he goes and embraces him. Yeah,
the thing that really I felt like even warmed me even more to Alan, who is my favourite out of this show so far, was when Judah was saying, I don't know why my dad left. Like, what was it about me that made him leave? And, like, he'd barely finished uttering the last syllable. And Alan's like, it was not you.
Yeah.
It was not to do with you. That's between your dad and your mum. It's not it's not your fault. And it was, like, instant. You can tell that he's had
adopted children.
Yeah, children that have had challenging situations that he's had to be engaged with. And he and his wife Sarah are very open with their muggles. Like they sit down earlier in the episode and sort of talk about the child that they've lost and the pain, and it's really quite.
And when you say lost, you mean died. Let's be clear about this. They didn't just lose.
He's
him
not
in
down the
fields.
back of the sofa.
Yeah.
Not to make light of it or anything. So I think that was a really nice thing, that whole sequence, to show the warmth and the accepting nature. Because there are some points of friction in this episode, but there's also points of conciliation.
Yeah.
And that's just really nice.
It was a lovely moment.
Yeah.
I loved that for Judah. I think he needed that. Because, of course, he's away from his home. He's away from all of his comforts. And he's now being forced, because of his masculinity, to do the guy stuff.
Yes.
And this is a challenge he's faced his whole life. And here he is being told, it's okay, it's not your fault. I can be a father figure for you.
Yes.
That's so nice, so warm. And I loved that from Alan as well.
Do we want to talk about the shoes and the shoe shopping at this point?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because it's difficult. There are points where they cross-pollinate the two households.
No, because this is Aaron and Judah again. It's just that Alan's gone with them.
Oh, that's right, yeah. So they go shopping for shoes.
To an Amish shop.
Yes.
It literally says Amish shop above the door.
Yeah, well, yeah.
In giant
in giant what?
letters.
Yeah, and there's a lot of what's fascinating, right, though, it's an Amish stuff shop.
Oh, yeah, Amish stuff.
For Amish people.
Yeah.
However, they are not Amish enough for James.
No.
There is not a lot of stuff in here that he will accept. So they're going through this thing of finding the most boring, the most plain, the most black shoes.
Like his own.
Like
these. If they're not like these, it's a no.
And the theme is basically Judah going, can I have this increasingly boring shoe? And James going, too fancy.
To be honest, like, he picks up the first pair and he's like, what about these? These are just work boots for, I guess, working on the farm. And James says, no, they're not appropriate because they have a different colour upper to the sole. That's too fancy. And Judah's like, okay. And he finds an all black pair. Mm-hmm. And James is like, no, they're too fancy because they have slight patterning in the seams on the upper.
And the sole is not uniform enough.
I don't think the sole was the issue with that pair.
Oh, right.
Because then he finds a third pair of all black shoes, plain upper, but this time there's like a curvy line on the sole. And that's when James says, no, they're not appropriate either. And Alan from the other house is like, they're fine. Like, you can't actually find Amish shoes anymore. These are the best of a bad bunch.
He sort of says, like, I would be fine with those.
Yeah.
But, you know,
because Judah goes to him then and is like, what do you think of these?
Dad,
because I don't know what to do.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, you can't have the devil's curve, says James, kind of thing. But they do eventually have to concede because he's like, I don't think there's any suitable shoes in this shop.
Yeah, so
this is an Amish shop and it's not Amish enough for me.
Yeah. Well, maybe this is showing that he's only just landed at this particular community as well.
I suspect so.
He hasn't had a chance to check it all out.
Yeah, I did enjoy just at the beginning, like Judah? I did find it interesting right at the beginning when they got there. Judah was looking at the suspenders and James was like, no, no, not for you.
Yeah.
He's just such a curmudgeon. He's the youngest of them, but he's the most curmudgeon-y.
Well, that's what he's grown up in.
Yeah. I'm starting to think that this Amish thing might be a bit repressive.
It just has very strict rules, and the rules on clothing are plain. And the darker the better in terms of colour. And the idea is that no one stands out and everyone is sort of working together, more community-minded. No one needs to be individualistic with their clothing.
Which is a real challenge for Judah.
Yeah.
To the point where he says, I might have to leave.
Yeah, I don't know how serious he is at this point.
Well, he gets his shoes, so he won.
And he did look happy.
Yeah. One person who definitely isn't happy later on is Aaron. Because he's been doing some smuggling.
Yeah, I thought this was bad.
On his part?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, good. I just wanted to check, because that was my vibe too. Because he's like, James took my phone. which is
he
for my
needs for
hearing
his hearing aids.
But it's okay. I've got a second phone.
Yeah.
And what he hasn't done is put it on silent. Because he's an idiot, apparently. Or indeed kept it particularly well hidden.
Yeah, well, it's hidden in the top of a built-in wardrobe, isn't it?
Yeah. And we see James searching around going, I've heard some noises. I've checked.
I've heard some beeping.
Yes. Which obviously will stand out in an Amish home.
Yeah, so he's checked the phones he's already confiscated and they're all turned off. So he knows it's not one of them.
He's on the hunt. He's riffling through drawers, possessions, everything.
Yeah, and he does find it.
Oh, yeah, and I'm like, uh-oh.
The thing that got me is he went out to go and talk to the three of them, the three muggles, Judah, Esme and Aaron, and he calls Aaron over. He knows it's his. How?
Oh, maybe it was in his stuff?
Maybe.
Or
But
production
he
ratted
shares
him
that
out.
room with Judah.
Maybe he's ratted him out. The production were like, it was him. Find the phone.
Or the only app on it is hearing aid app.
Well,
I don't know.
Or he's like, I mean, I know who's been really pissed about not having his phone, so...
Yeah, but surely he would have come across as coping with it remarkably well, and he can hear remarkably well considering he doesn't have his hearing aids.
I was convinced that they were going to be chatting at that bench that they were all sat around. He'd suddenly be like, my headphones, my hearing aids have stopped working.
Yeah.
But no, he gives him a proper dressing down, doesn't he?
Yeah, fair enough. But what I was hoping for this episode was that he would be taken to a hearing aid shop and got some that would comply with the Amish way of life.
See, my really ill-informed assumption was that he'd have to have like a big ear trumpet like in the old cartoons.
Are you serious?
Well, yeah, because I stupidly assumed that like the Amish wouldn't accept technology and things like that, so he'd have to just make
Regarding
do.
health, they do.
Which
though.
I've been educated about as part of the show. It is the learning channel.
Not that
after
they've
all.
done that. I do think they needed to make that a priority this first day.
So I'm going to look like a genius if we turn up and it's ear trumpet next week. It seems unlikely. But, you know.
But anyway, his hearing aid goes off because the phone is confiscated. And you can see him in the conversation with Esme and Judah kind of giving up.
Yeah.
And then he says, I'm zoning out now because it's too hard to try and work out what everyone's saying.
And it's so hard for me because, like, part of me is like, is he doing that because he can't hear things? Or is he being a bit of a whiny piss baby because he didn't get to keep his phone that he did?
I mean, in all honesty, if this was me, I would have gone and got a hearing aid that doesn't require a phone ready for going to the Amish because I would have known they would take that phone regardless of the reason.
There's so many things in this episode and the last episode that if we were going to an army, we wouldn't do. So I'm starting to think that there might be certain things that they've been told they have to do for production.
Maybe.
So maybe there's that. But yeah, either that or these people are colossally stupid. So there is also that possibility.
Well, yeah, I didn't think of that.
But yeah, that's kind of it for that household, I think, unless there's anything else that you wanted to talk about.
I can't think of anything for them.
Okay, well, let's move on to the fun house.
Okie dokie.
Sarah and Alan's abode, where we have Kendra, Billy Joe, and Matt. So we kick off at their house with a sort of continuation of something that I'd noted in our last episode, which was we only saw the going through of bags at James and Emma's house, and we actually get that in this episode for Sarah and Alan's house.
Yeah, it's what they do first thing in the morning, isn't it?
Yeah, and this both went the way I thought it would go, and very much didn't go the way I thought it would go.
Yeah, they were doing this, and I was like, who's that? And you were like, that's Kendra.
Yeah.
What? Because they've gone through all her clothes and told her what's suitable and what's not, which is basically everything is not suitable.
Well, it's interesting because we see them go through her suitcase with her, and she's like, none of this is suitable. I've got no clothes.
Yeah, but she is then later wearing clothes, just normal jeans and a normal top, and she looks totally different.
She does.
Looks relaxed and chill and like a completely different person.
It is really interesting. You genuinely didn't recognise her.
No, I was like, who is that?
What I thought was interesting with Ari the bag unpacking, when we're going through her Kendra's bag, once she declares that she's got no clothes, Billy Joe is like, well, I could lend you some of my clothes. I'd have to peg them so they don't fall off your shoulders or whatever. And I interpreted that as her kind of being a little bit smug, like, well, obviously all of my stuff is going to be fine. And they start unpacking her bag.
Well, I didn't get that impression from her. I thought that was a nice gesture.
Okay. Well, the unpacking of her bag does not go so well. I wouldn't have picked
All
that.
her clothes passed the test. They're quite impressed by that.
Well, the problem is she's bought an electronic device with her.
Hang on, read the clothes though.
Yeah.
Sarah and Alan, whose house it is, the actual Amish people, believe that she's bought these clothes special. They don't know that she's been wearing them for 10 years.
But then later on, when Alan and James are having a conversation, they're talking about how Billy Joe's been living part Amish for 10 years because she knows some Amish people or something. So they must know something about it, unless they've been clued up in the interim. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that probably comes with their conversation around the table.
Touché. But yes, she has an electronic device, which is not good.
Nope.
They're both fascinated and horrified.
Yeah, Sarah's never seen one before.
No,
Kendra is quite interested in how Sarah's never seen one before.
I feel like Kendra is delighted that Billy Joe is the one that's being told off here. Or
Fancy bringing it.
It felt a little bit like she'd, I don't know, maybe a bit acted like she's been told you've got to, because she sort of like picked up a little bag and it just sort of fell out of it, and this bright neon pink vibrator.
Yeah.
And it's like, I had a feeling someone was going to bring one.
Did you?
I said it to you while we were watching the first episode. I was like, someone's going to... And it was not Billy Joe that I would have guessed. And she is mortified. Looks very upset.
Is she? Because I was watching it going, yeah, you knew that was going to happen. You wanted an edge. You've come in wearing Amish clothes, having, in inverted commas, lived the Amish lifestyle for 10 years. I think you need something to distinguish you and to show that you are a rebel in your own way.
You're not 100% goody two-shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she also said, like, do you not get a special dispensation if you're unmarried? And they were like,
well,
nope.
yeah, because Alan's like, you shouldn't be pleasuring yourself. That's up to your husband. And she's like, but I don't have a husband.
What if I ain't got one?
I've been trying.
I've got one in this lovely little bag.
Yeah.
And it doesn't talk back. But yeah, they were like, no, we'll have to get you hitched up.
Yeah, presumably that's now confiscated and with the phones in the phone box.
I can hear a weird noise. Is it a phone? Is it not? Who knows? Sorry.
It's all right.
So yeah, that was awkward. But while we're talking about Billy Joe, I thought it was really interesting that later on, when we see them doing the gardening, she's going barefoot.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's an Amish thing or if that's just a her thing.
Well, I was then, after you pointed out, trying to look at Sarah and Alan, and I couldn't work it out. But, I mean, the other team went and got shoes.
Other team?
So they clearly have shoes.
Has this transitioned into The Apprentice now?
No.
The Amish Apprentice. That was like the buying task at the shop. No.
Stop comparing them. They're completely different.
They are. Sorry. So let's back to this team.
Yeah.
Yeah, just shoeless on a farm. It seems
It
risky.
reminded me of the Plath kids.
Oh,
because they were always shoeless.
Yeah, that is more of an appropriate crossover.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not great to be compared to the Plaths, but there you go.
Oh, well, there's something I think quite refreshing about being shoeless. I don't know if it's a good idea to be barefoot whilst gardening. Because, I mean, they were using gardening tools that could have been
Hoes and
dangerous.
rakes. I would not fancy being shoeless around Kendra wielding a hoe around the place.
Yeah.
Because she was pretty wayward at points. But yeah, it is sort of interesting to see them actually getting into a task and doing it as a team and everything.
The Amish, Sarah and Alan, were sort of chuckling to themselves at the Muggles finding it like hard work.
Yeah, what I found hard work was them constantly going on about hoes and making... Also, I think it was quite telling, actually, because Kendra was doing a lot of self-deprecating, slut-shaming type terminology.
Was she?
Yeah, she was saying, like, oh, I'm the one that's appropriate to use the hoe. Ha, ha, ha. I should be doing the hoeing, etc., etc.
Humour as a defence, right?
Yeah, but then it all that's what started, and then everyone was kind of doing that. And it was interesting because, like, Billy Joe notices and Matt comments on, like, that he and Kendra are flirting under Amish terms.
Yeah.
But they seem
he just means being quite shy about it. It's not
Yeah.
overly overt. They're sort of not saying it. It's not going beyond friendly chatting.
Yeah.
But they're both kind of feeling the vibe.
Innuendo in your endo kind of thing.
Right, yeah. Lovely.
That was the vibe that was the level that they were pitching it at.
Okay.
But yeah, those two seem very into each other, which just seems a bit like this seems unnecessarily complicating. Like, you got enough stuff to be dealing with, guys.
Well, the whole point of this is that Pastor Vernon wants to grow the community, but a lot of his young Amish can't marry each other because they're related.
Yeah.
So they need these new people to marry the existing people, not each other.
Yes.
That would defeat the point.
Yeah, they just come in and go, oh, well, we'll pair up, and maybe next generation will spread the bloodline if we have kids.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
playing the long game.
I mean, that's going to become problematic as we find out later on anyway, so we'll touch on that with Matt in a bit.
Well, it's Matt's turn.
Well, I suppose it's Matt's turn. So yeah, one of the big issue with Matt is when James convenes a gathering of the households.
Yeah.
Because he wants to check up on Alan.
Yeah.
He's very open about it. He says that Alan is a bad representation of Amish people because he's too liberal, and he's probably being too weak with the Muggles, and he organised the mingling to check in to make sure that he's not been too lenient.
It's fun for us as the audience
Yeah.
to see the groups getting back together to share their day, because then we hear how they actually feel about their day as well, because they're relaying it to someone else.
It wasn't fun for very long.
No. Well, James asks Alan if there's any gossip, if he's found out anything about any of his team. And Alan's like, well, not really. I mean, I suppose Matt revealed that he's divorced.
Oh.
And that was it.
Yeah, James not a fan of divorce.
No.
As it turns out. What I enjoyed was that though they were doing that back and forth gossip in their dialect.
Yeah. In the German.
Really, like, almost like, you know, like gossipé nefasé, you know, the sort
not
of
want to be overheard.
Yes.
Although the word divorced is apparently the same.
Yeah, more or less. So you could probably figure it out.
Yeah.
And James, in his classic understated, really tactful way, immediately marches over to Matt to be like, so I hear you're divorced.
Yeah.
Why are you even here? Because you can't remarry in our community.
And Matt's like, well, okay, I've been divorced for a few years and she's remarried. And then James is like, okay, right, well, the only way you could be here really is if your wife was also here. And he's like, yeah, but she's
not.
Remarried though, like with a whole nother family.
I
though.
feel, James, that you are not understanding what divorce is. Because he's like, yeah, like, that's just not going to happen for so many reasons. And he's like, well, why did you lie to us and waste our time?
Yeah,
He's
because
like,
you can't be here.
Yeah.
And then that's when Matt says, well, like, who was I supposed to tell? Like,
I haven't lied to you.
Yeah.
A lot of this seems to stem from James feeling like, you have lied to me, and now you, a evil, because he uses the word evil, divorced man, are on my property, and that is a bad thing. So you need to immediately get the fuck out.
otherwise my shunning is going to last forever,
Yeah.
I think is what he's worried about.
You're going to get some of your evil on me.
Yeah.
So he literally, axe in hand, escorts him from the property.
Yeah, a really long way away.
Yeah.
But then again, it's a farm, so those properties are huge, and he does all the way up the driveway.
Yep. And then he's like, right, get off. I told you to get off. Stop coming back.
Yeah.
And then what I found distressing was that most people were just like,
Well,
that
they're
happened.
sort of watching side-eye, like, ooh, what do we do?
And if you had to guess which two muggles went to go and check that he was okay,
Yeah.
would it have been the two that...
No. Well, I would have chosen Kendra.
Yeah.
And who else would I have chosen?
I mean, I'd have probably put my money on Alan.
Well, yeah, maybe Billy Joe, because then it would have been the three of them that are in that house.
But yeah, Kendra's just like, I'm keeping my head down. I've had enough shit, thank you.
Yeah.
And they just wander up, but everyone else is sort of sat there chatting, eating popcorn.
But Billy Joe and Judah do go and
Yeah.
check on him and make sure he's all right.
And they were like, don't come too close because, you know, there's a line. But like, we're really sorry this happened to you.
Yeah, and then Judah to the camera's like, I am not telling them that I'm bisexual. Decision made.
I feel like I'm next.
Yeah.
And I saw that was a big axe. And and as we saw earlier, he can wield that pretty well. So yeah, so his sort of bravery for revealing his orientation rather diminishes, and I don't blame him at all.
Yeah. Although, do you think keeping it a secret will mean, like, that the punishment will be increased? Like, the length of time that I'm going to presume they now are going to use the word lie continues.
Well, it depends, doesn't it? Like, there's also time and context, because I wonder how it would have gone down if this had been revealed to James while he was on Alan's property, because I think a lot of it stemmed from, you are in my home, and I feel like I've been misled.
Tricked almost.
Yes. So it's an interesting situation. But of course, it's difficult for Judah because he's living at James's house. So, I mean, geez.
Yeah.
I found this... the more this episode went on, the less I liked James.
Well, yeah.
Weirdly. But yeah, no one really goes... Because then those two go back.
They come back to the main
and so
route.
he's just left in the middle of a thunderstorm starting to happen, lightning and thunder going off, and he's just stood at the edge of probably going, is anyone going to come get me?
Well, we don't know, because then the program ends at that point, so we don't know what happens. Does he find shelter? Does one of the production give him a lift somewhere? Yeah. Presumably, he's not off the show. He just needs to wait to go back to Alan and Sarah's house.
Because even Alan, when he found out, was like, I think I'm going to have to go and talk to Bishop Vernon to find out if he knew about this and stuff. So
if it's okay.
Yeah, because obviously it's still...
Because I think it was Kendra says, it's really unfair that he's being treated like this because it happened way before the show. Like, this is pre-Amish life. Surely, if you're entering a new community like this, you are sort of washed of sin before you go through.
You'd hope so. Like, I wonder if Bishop Vernon has been the sort of indirectly the liaison with the team and has sort of said there are some hard no's and there's some stuff that might be difficult but we can kind of maybe work around, and maybe divorce was one of them, but that hasn't been passed down to James and Alan for this exact situation.
Or it is a hard no and production have gone, that'll be fun.
Okay, yeah. Oh wow.
You know?
Yeah. Then going, oh no, he's got an axe. I mean, that could have got pretty bad.
He wasn't wielding it; it was carrying it low to the ground.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
It's one of those passive-aggressive moves, I suppose.
Menacing.
Well, he wasn't. Like I said, he wasn't wielding; he was just holding it.
He was holding a large axe while demanding
it was
sternly
almost
you
dragging
to leave
on the ground.
The very presence of the axe while you're being told to get off my land is in and of itself fairly menacing, I think. I'd have felt more comfortable if he did not have the axe.
Yeah, but then he might not have left the land.
Right. I feel that only corroborates my point. So yeah, that was pretty tetchy.
But that's it. That's the episode.
Yeah.
There is a lot going on.
My main takeaway is that James is a big fat hypocrite because he's got an electric fridge. And yet he's super strict Mormon man. Super strict Amish man.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's Emma's house.
So I still can't tell. I can't decide whether I think that they're married or not.
They're cousins.
Yeah.
And he literally said, I can't date her because she's my cousin. We're related.
Okay.
So they can't even date. They are just cousins.
Okay. And yet he's talking about, like, get off my property.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
Yeah.
Maybe they're a Amish platonic civil partnership or something.
I don't know.
Who knows? Well,
they're each other's chaperone, so it's fine.
Yeah, it could be. See, I quite like Emma because she seems a lot more moderate.
Well, she's
him.
Grown up in this liberal community, hasn't she? So she will seem more moderate.
Yeah, true. Basically, so far, it seems like James is the villain.
Yeah, the thing is, it's kind of good in a way because we're getting an insight into some of that stricter Amish life.
Which I suspect is the
entire...
Yeah, this is probably the reason why he's here. But it does show that conflict in the community itself.
Yeah, but I think we need it as well because I don't know. Also, the audience would come away with the wrong impression of the Amish community without him there saying that's not okay.
Not everyone's as chill as Alan.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, we've said that we've enjoyed this episode a whole boatload, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to rate it?
I am giving this episode... Oh gosh, what am I going to give this episode? 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Yeah, and it would have got a 10 out of 10 if they'd have got the hearing aid sorted, if they'd have gone to the shop or doctors or wherever they would go and got a hearing aid.
Okay.
10 out of 10 at that point.
Ooh.
Because we're missing that 9 out of 10.
Wowzers.
It flew by. There was so much interest. There were points where I could see myself siding with the Muggles and siding with the Amish, and it just worked. And I feel like they ended it on a cliffhanger of that, what's going to happen with Matt.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm giving it 7 deadly chickens wielding secret mobile phones out of 7.
I see.
Because it was bloody brilliant. If you've got an hour-long, 40 minutes, hour-long with advert show that finishes and I think it's only been on 10 minutes.
Winner.
Brilliant. Yeah. It was great. It was fascinating. It was hilarious at points. It was thought-provoking.
Yeah, and I think we're learning as well.
A man got chased by a chicken. A tiny chicken.
Do not see that every day.
If honestly, you could have had the most dreary episode. But if you show me Jonah going, being chased by a tiny chicken, 7 out of 7 any day. If we can have that every episode, boom, 7 out of 7 every week. That was brilliant.
We'll see then.
We are definitely going to cover the rest of this season. However
absolutely.
Many episodes, I don't know how many, probably 8 or 10 or something. We don't know. But I'm in. I'm engaged.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to when it airs every week.
I want more absolutely boneheaded, stupid things that people are doing. I've secretly stashed away, I don't know, a video game console. Why can't I use that? Or something,
I'm sure there's something we haven't even thought of that is just not allowed. That's going to be the surprising thing.
James is going to start retroactively adding things like, you're not allowed to have moustaches. Everyone get rid of your moustaches. Socks, you can only have one. Just mad stuff. No?
Well, I feel like you might be taking it too far.
I think James is taking it too far.
Okay, and on that note...
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for listening. See you next time. Bye!
Toodles!